Hello, guys. Welcome to today's exciting webinar. You could call it an AMA, right? Where we'll be diving into P2P, that's peer-to-peer, right? And just how P2P is transforming the way we access financial services, resources, right, in today's digital economy, right? So we are thrilled to bring you together as a community, right? And Binance experts here just to explore and deep dive into this dynamic space, right? I'll be your host and moderator today, Charles. Joining me today is Ray, Alan, and Sunny. Let them introduce themselves whenever their time comes to speak, right? So I hope you're super pumped for this session. It's going to be a basic AMA where we'll be diving deep into the intricacies of P2P. So if you have a question just around P2P, if you've ever faced any issue while trading on the Binance platform with regards to P2P, this is the session for you today. Feel free to leave your questions on chat and we'll be able to address them just before the session ends. So I'd love to introduce Ray on stage, who will give us just a breakdown of what P2P is as we continue diving into what we prepared for you today. So yeah, Ray, take it away.
Thank you, Charles. If you are here on Tuesday, if you joined us live on Tuesday, then you must have heard us talk about P2P and how you can transact via P2P. Today's session, as Charles has said, we have an expert here, someone who understands the platform more than all of you do understand. And we're going to talk about it in depth. But before we get started with that, what is P2P? P2P is as I explained before, it's peer to peer. Peer to peer, it means it's between you and your fellow mate. And basically, what happens in P2P is you can trade, you can deposit crypto, you can buy crypto via peer to peer or sell crypto via peer to peer. In simplicity, to explain what happens in simplicity is you trade with another person on the Binance platform, and this person on the Binance platform will able to send you cash on your mobile money or your bank or your bank account or any of your fiat receiving platforms. And then you on the other side will be able to release them crypto. That's if you want to sell crypto. And if you want to buy crypto, it's also the vice versa. They'll send you cash on your mobile money while you release the crypto to them. Basically, that's what happens in P2P. P2P is the easiest gateway. In case you want to interact with anything related to crypto, P2P is the easiest gateway, and Binance P2P platform is by far the largest peer-to-peer platform in the whole world. Yeah. Today, we're going to dive deeper into just that. And let me hand over to Sunny to introduce himself, and then we can get back to Charles. Thank you, Charles. On to you, Sunny.
All right. Thank you very much, Ray. That was quite that was quite detailed. Okay, so happy to be on board today. Happy to join you guys. My name is Sonny Joseph, Sonny Joe for short. I am part of the internal team for Binance, managing P2P and automation project for the African market. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me, Charles.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Sunny, for that introduction. Yeah. So when it comes to this conversation just around P2P, Ray has described what P2P is. Yeah, I hope you're on the same page with that. So I'd love just to address why you need to choose Binance P2P, or rather just talk about the Binance P2P, some of the key features of the Binance P2P, right? So yeah, as Ray describes, P2P just facilitates transactions without an intermediary, right? Basically, Binance offers competitive prices. You can talk about multiple payment methods. You can talk about enhanced security through an escrow system. So those are some of the key features that we offer you as an end user, or rather even as a merchant on the platform, right? So for escrow protection, we hold the seller's crypto in an escrow until the buyer confirms payment. This is just to prevent scams by ensuring that your funds are only released after the payment verification is done. Another other key thing that we offer you guys is just a wide range of cryptocurrencies. We support basically, you can talk from native coins like BTC, ETH, to stable coins like USDT, USDC, and more, right? We offer varieties based on availability, a variety based on availability from different regions. Yeah, on the Binance P2P, we also just offer competitive pricing and zero fees, right? So as a seller, sellers set their own prices and offer leading, often basically just lead to best rates than basically traditional or TradFi exchanges, right? So in Binance P2P, we don't really charge any trading fees for any transactions, and just by the fact that we also offer multiple payment options that you can be able to leverage on the platform, from bank transfers, from e-wallets, from mobile payments, you name it, and basically just other local methods. This ensures that wherever you are, you're really basically just comfortable with the payment method that you prefer to use on the platform. So those are just some of the key features. I've just scratched the surface of it on some of the key features that you need to look out when you're on the Binance P2P platform. Also, for merchants, we offer merchant verification and just a reputation system, right? Where you can be able to join the merchant program we'll talk about the criteria that you need to unlock to become a merchant just during the session. So those are some of the key features that I would like just to highlight. Barely scratch the surface. You guys can go dive deep, do your own research, as we always say, and ask any questions that come to mind. But to address what we had planned today, we had planned an AMA since on Tuesday, as Ray said, we had a deep dive into P2P. So today was just basically an AMA to address the questions that came from that session, and the questions that you guys filled out the form to present to us, right? Basically just the concerns. So I'd love to introduce Sunny back on stage to answer for us these couple of questions that you guys asked. As to the first questions, so for new users, Sunny, right? Safety is usually just a top concern, right? And when I join a platform for myself, I usually look at how safety my funds are, how interact with how convenient and safely I interact with the platform and other users. So with Binance, how can traders ensure their funds are secure during P2P transactions? And as you answer that, you can also echo what specific measures that does Binance have in place to protect users from scams and bad actors in the ecosystem.
All right, Charles. Thanks again. That was also very quite detailed explanation that you have just provided about the entire overview of P2P. Okay, so to take on your first question, so it says that, if I understand you correctly, please help me. New users, safety, top concerns.
Yeah.
I think it is important that we know that as individuals, when you get on a peer-to-peer platform, you should also take actions for some of the things that you do on the platform, right? So if you come on the platform, for example, and before you open up a transaction or a peer-to-peer trade with a counterpart, it's important that you check a few things or look out for a few things. For example, I will be referencing the Kenyan market a lot today, since we are since we're sitting down in Kenya and having this session, right? So the Kenyan market, for example, whenever you launch the P2P page, you would see that the page is merchant by default. So what I mean by merchant by default is that you will see several levels of merchants represented in different badge types. When you hover around the badge, you would get to see the meaning of what the badge is, right? So on no account can you come on the platform and then you're probably not seeing a merchant. So merchants are verified liquidity provider by Binance, providing liquidity for the Kenyan market. So they are buying or they're selling, right? So they're exchanging local fiat for crypto, or they're selling crypto in exchange for local fiat, right? So As a new user, when you get on the platform, I think that we want to first do what we call due diligence by ensuring that you can get yourself familiarized with the platform, see what the price rates are, see what the available order limits are, depending on what capacity it is that you want to buy, right? So, and one of the good things that we have done is that we have walk you through certain animations as against just relying on what people say. A lot of what I also learned over the years is that a lot of us don't do our own research. We just rely on what a friend has said, right? So I've seen situations where people have just canceled the animation, for example, and not even go through it. And they're new because they need to know certain things. I'm going to speak on a bit about some of the things we've put in place to ensure that new users are protected, even though we expect that as a new user, you still do a few due diligence yourself, but that would be for a bit that'll be for later. So when you come on the platform, it is important that you look through the individual who you want to interact with, which are merchants. In this case, you are able to see at least the total order that this merchant has processed, the completion rate for this merchant, and the total negative versus positive ranking. Other users have interacted with this merchant, have rated the merchant service, right? These few things at a quick glance should be able to give you an insight if this is the kind of person or the kind of merchant, irrespective, to trade with. If you open up the merchant account further, you will see a lot of other useful information that can help your decision making, right? You will see that the merchant has gone through some additional level of verification outside of just say maybe email, SMS, and ID verification. They've gone through some address verification. And speaking on this AMA session, it's important that I mention that attaining a merchant badge on Binance P2P isn't just easy because we also have internally a merchant management team that further scrutinize those who are applying to become verified merchant on the Binance platform. Some of the things that we do are first in-depth background checks, historical trade analysis, as well as a general evaluation against the Binance internal risk and fraud detection rule. So these are some of the things that happens back end that we are not showing or telling anyone before you become a merchant. So becoming merchant on the Binance platform isn't an easy one or an easy step to attain. So we're very confident that those who we put forefront to be able to interact with both new and existing users are actually, genuine people, they're genuine liquidity providers, and coupled with some of the internal rules that we have in place, it will be very difficult before you interact with the merchant and get scammed. It's also very important that I mention here that within the last 12 months, as of last week, we haven't recorded a single merchant scam in Africa. Now, this is a testament of some of the work we've put in internally to ensure that we're providing you only with the best of people that you can interact with securely and as fast as possible. So to go back again to your question, Charles, I think I've answered the first layer of it. Let me know if I haven't. So how or what measures we have put in specifically to protect new users are, first of all, while you're trading or while you open up a trade with a merchant, there are certain monitoring mechanisms that are not visible to you. If this particular individual or merchant goes to maybe adjust the price, for example, we have internal monitoring system that alerts us and then we take action. So a perfect example would be for a order violation. I'll just run through that. So the consequences for that would be that the merchant gets offboarded and can never become a P2P merchant ever again. So except that they do not take it very seriously, right? Except you're willing to just lost the badge. So what you've worked for sometimes certain persons would have gone through maybe over 1 year period to be able to attain a badge. And then you just want to throw it away because you want to try and manipulate prices on the platform, for example, or you are listing setting advertisement on the platform that you're not actually taking or you're not actually selling, and then you're getting too many negative feedbacks, because we review these feedbacks on a weekly basis and we take actions as well. So accept all of what you've worked for over the years or over the very long months or weeks do not matter to you, then you can just throw it, out just like that. So these are some of the measures we've put in place. And of course, our escrow system, where if you do not confirm where you have received the funds and the counterpart also doesn't confirm that they have, released the asset, you are secured, where our 247 support system, dispute analyst, would be able to, help ensure that you get the best of fairness of resolution as regards the case at hand. So these are like the measures we've put in place, especially for new users. Also recently, yes, we have launched a system called recommendation by model. So what this feature does is that it specifically caters for new users who have zero trade histories. So if you come on the platform, for example, and then you are a new user, when merchants are posting ads, they could set certain rules back end to say they don't want to trade with new users. But what we have done recently is that we have introduced a system. If you go to the filters, so I mean, if there are new users on those AMA, you can actually practicalize this. I may not say it because I'm not a new user, except I switch my current application to that of the testing one. But as a new user, you'd be able to, when you go to the sorting, if you are on the computer, but if not on the app as well, if you go to the sorting path, you would see that currently we sort by price by default, but you can sort by completed orders, completion rate, rating, and then recently we have now introduced by model. So Charles, allow me forward you what this would look like, such that
Okay.
you can distribute this in the community,
All right.
specific for new users. So this is also another way that we have catered for new users, ensuring that they're getting like some of the best of services with, merchants providing them uh, service. Okay, so I have just forward to you. So if you look at the top right-hand corner, you will see that we are providing an additional service called sorting by overall ranking, where these users would be able to trade with um, these new users will be able to trade with verified merchants, even though they have zero trade history.
All right, yeah, makes sense. Just send the screenshot. I'll be sending it to the community. Yeah.
Yeah, but it will be good if you just hover, maybe highlight the sorting part where it says overall ranking, so
Overall
such that
ranking.
users know how they can maybe sort out and see these merchants. So this is currently available not in every market. We will gradually scale them across different markets. At the moment, it's only available in the Francophone African region. And then we just launched that of Kenya last week, so also available in Kenya, but it's a gradual rollout process for the entire African market. But these are additional measures that we've continued to put in place to support new users across our platform by ensuring that they can interact with trusted, verified, and professional merchants on our platform.
Yeah, you totally touched on everything. Yeah, from real-time monitoring to dispute resolutions to how you can be able to sort by overall ranking, and also just to echo what we've been always doing for the past, or rather, for the past year or couple of years, we've dived deep into education, right? So this is also one of the measures that we've just set in place to ensure you guys are secure and ensure you guys can be able just to detect if this is a scam, if basically just to protect you from bad actors in the ecosystem, right? So user education ranges just from tutorials that we've done in the past. On Tuesday, Ray mentioned that we'll be having another webinar next week where we'll be talking about scams that you should be aware of. So with regards to user education, we've put in a lot to educate you guys on just how you can be able to detect a scam, how you can be able to detect bad actors in the ecosystem, just to help you be secure when you're trading, or rather when you're engaging with a merchant or with an end user. So I'd love Ray to take the next question as we go to as we progress.
Hello. Okay. So our next question is this is a common issue we've experienced in the community from time to time. And the question is many users do ask about P2P and how the fees is calculated. We'd love to hear you elaborate how are P2P fees calculated. Then, other than that, we'd like you to share with us what are the tips for traders and the best practices. Like, if traders want to trade with a merchant, what are the best tips and what are the easiest ways to resolve disputes? In any, if it happens that a trader has disputes, won't you, Sunny?
All right, Ray, thanks. That was a very brilliant question. And I think that in order to be able to provide transparency to our users, we're highly transparent, right? So I'm going to share a link. This link should be able to give not just an overview, but entire fees and transaction overview for the P2P market from both the Express and the P2P zone. You'd be able to see what it is that we charge. So at the moment, for the taker fee, which is the buy and sell, it's at 0%, which means there are no fees except for the USDT pair, where we have a 0.05% fee. But all the other trading zones on the Binance P2P platform are 0% fees. For the maker fees, they range from different trading pair to the other, but this link within the community should be able to help. So I think we're on a live session. I will share this link with Charles, and then Charles will probably be able to drop it maybe within the comment section, and people can look or check for themselves so that they can see exactly what it is that I'm referencing to or I'm saying. So at the moment, the taker fee buy sell side is 0% for the P2P zone. Only a 0.05% is applied to the USDT pair for the taker buy side, but all the other more than I think 10 other listed trading pairs are for 0% on Binance P2P. Yeah, so I think for the second one, what the most common red flags are when you're trading with, oh, no, sorry. I can you repeat that again? Sorry, I think you said what would be the best practice for resolving disputes. Okay, so I think dispute resolution, you just need to ensure that you are actively responsive whenever you open up a dispute. We've seen cases where people open up dispute and they're gone away for some reason. Disputes are time bound, right? Different internal dispute analysts um, inside of Binance who are helping you resolve a particular issue are bound by a certain time to complete a particular dispute or complaint that a user have against the merchant or against another user. So if you are unavailable, the dispute analyst, given the experience or the severity of the case, could rule against you, right? So if you are going to be opening a dispute, be sure to be available to attend to the dispute. Usually, the dispute analyst would give you a time frame to respond. If you do not respond by internal SOP, they could extend it depending on what the case is. For some others, it could just be the fact that you have paid the local fiat and then you want the crypto released. There are different cases where a dispute could arise, right? But essentially, and more importantly, if you're opening or filing a dispute, kindly be available to attend to it immediately you start getting questions asked or providing evidences for that particular dispute. You have to be available if you do not want certain actions taken against you that you may actually call being unfair, because dispute analysts that are behind every dispute are time bound to be able to close a particular case and move to the other. And then there's one, I think this is like 3 in 1 question, where you talk about liability on traders. And yeah, tips for choosing reliable traders. Like I said, ensure that you're trading with a verified merchant on Binance. Ensure that this merchant has completed at least a good amount of trades over the last 30 days. Ensure that the merchant completion rate is above 85%. This means that he's actively trading. If it's below 60%, you should actually report the merchant to us, who will take action and ensure that it gets down. We have a monthly merchant review cycle, extensive one, where if you're not meeting as per internal SOPs, we get you offboarded as a verified merchant on the Binance P2P platform. So you must make sure you're trading with either a silver, gold, or bronze merchant. These are verified merchants of Binance P2P, and check out other feedbacks that they've gotten from prior traders, other traders who have traded with them. The feedbacks are highlighted just below their names on the peer-to-peer platform. You will see like a total ranking of their feedbacks, and when you hover around the feedback, you will see if they're positive or negative feedback. If you open up their account, you'd be able to see the total negative versus positive feedback that they've gotten over the trading period, and this should help you make a decision if you want to trade with them or not.
Okay. Yeah, you've actually just echoed, or rather answered the question that we were going to next. We wanted just to talk about the criteria for, or rather, what, let's say, as if I go to the platform and I want to trade with a merchant, what should I be looking out for in a specific merchant? I think you've mentioned that the number of completed orders, the feedback, release time, or rather trade completion time, and whatnot. Now, just going back to scams, right? Because this has been one of the key things, or rather, this has been an elephant in the room. Someone asked, can they still get scammed on P2P despite safety measures? And what are some of the common red flags that I should be looking out for with regards to scam? So yeah, the first question is, can someone still get scammed, and despite any safety measures, and what are some of the common red flags to look out for?
Okay, thanks, Charles. So, like you say, the elephant in the room, right? So I'm
Yeah.
just to address the common red flags to watch out for, because from experience, over more than a decade of building products technologically and helping, solve problems, one of the common things that I've seen is that for any scam to be successful, the counterpart is usually a part of the process.
Mm-hmm.
I could repeat that again. For any scam to be successful, the counterpart is usually part of the process. But I would leave this to Binance P2P specifically, and some
Yeah.
of the common red flags to watch out for. First of all, is to ensure that you do not have off-platform communication requests. Whenever you open up a trade with a merchant or a user, which we refer to as makers, those who have the ability to make ads, and they are requesting you to leave the platform to have conversations, please don't. Remain in the platform, and we already have a chat system provided. And of recent, we have had a lot of enhancements to our chat feature just to be able to provide the best of user experiences and service to our users, right? So anyone urging you to take conversations or payment outside the P2P platform is a huge red flag. This bypasses, platform protections like the escrow, and they could lure you to releasing your assets, and you not get value for your assets. And in this case, you are now seeking support to help where you could have not even need one help at all, right? This is a very
Mm-hmm.
important aspect of a common red flag. The second would be too good to be true prices, right? You are offered a price far better than the market rates. This might be a bait, actually. It might be, scammers use attractive pricing to lure in victims quickly. So, except you're looking for a value for your crypto where you think that, oh, this looks too good to be true, that's when you can fall for this type of scam types, right? And then pressure to releasing funds early, right? I have sent the money, just release. You haven't sent the
Mhm.
money. Binance has clearly said until you log in and confirm that you have received the money, SMS isn't enough. So if you get an SMS notification and you just assume that that could be the money, and then you release, and then later find out that you haven't received the money, it isn't enough. If you haven't confirmed funds in your account, do not release. No matter how urgent or convincing the counterpart sounds, until you see the money, that's when you have seen the money. Then you can release the assets. Screenshot of a payment proof. Someone is sending you a payment proof that seem like they have sent the money. Screenshot can be faked. They can be faked. Only trusted real-time confirmation in your bank account or however means you receive your local fiat are the only ways you can confirm. So most platforms within Africa are mobile, centric, where you can receive monies through mobile money for a few market banks, right? And some of these platforms will send you SMS notification, and you can also have the ability to either confirm it using USSD, or you can log into an application and confirm that you have received the money. These are the only ways or times where you should actually release the assets. So I've given about 4 tips. I'll give 2 more. New or unverified accounts offering big trades. Like you see someone who's not a merchant and is coming to offer you some extravagant, pricing, still related to, I think, my point two there. Be extra cautious with accounts that have low or no trade history, right? Especially if they are offering large volumes or too good to be true rates, right? You should run away. And then lastly is third party payments, right? We highly kick against third party payments, right? Payments coming from someone other than the buyer's name or the seller can be charged back, or account issues. It could be that person has picked up somebody's account. Always double check the name that's making payment to you matches the account name that you have received. Now, mind you, they are nicknames. So nicknames are what you see, but then when you open up a trade, you will see the person who you're supposed to be receiving money from. And now, if the person is a very big trader, they would state in their terms and conditions where money will be coming from. If this is not stated, then you shouldn't trade with this particular individual. These are common red flags that you can watch out for to stay safe on the P2P platform. The platform chart and are there for you to ensure that you follow procedures strictly. Don't go out of the chart. Never share personal or banking details unnecessarily on the platform. Trust your gut. If it feels off, please walk away. Please walk away. Please walk away. Always wait for actual payment confirmation, not promises that I have sent the money, please release. No. If you haven't received the money, you haven't received it. I think that these 6 points should help us, stay safe while we trade on the platform. Thank you.
Well, thank you for that, Sani. On the next question, it's quite interesting. First of all, I'd love to thank you for the tips that you've offered. I hope our users are going to put those tips into practice. I hope this webinar is not just a passing cloud for them, and they're going to put them into practice, since most users have complained about scams and the issues they've encountered from time to time. Well, the next question will be about our users have been asking a lot of questions. When you walk into the Binance P2P platform, you'd notice that there's a user who has a badge that looks silver-like, another looks bronze-like, another one looks gold-like. So would like you to elaborate what is that exactly, and then what is the difference between a merchant or a regular Binance user and a verified merchant? Would like you to elaborate those two. Won't you, Sunny? Thank you.
All right, Ray. Thanks for the question. Okay, so I think for the different types of regular users and verified merchants, so I'll first touch on the different types of verified merchant. So if you are on the Binance P2P platform and you hover, just hovering around any of the badges you see, it tells you basically what type of merchant that is. So on the Binance P2P page, we have three types of merchants. We have the silver merchants, we have the bronze merchants, and we have the gold merchants. So the silver merchants are advanced merchants with a positive P2P record and consistent volumes. You can also learn more about just hovering around the badge, and then you can read more about the difference between these merchants. And these merchants are differently categorized based on their monthly activities, right? So we give a lot of discounts to merchants trading on the platform. So as such, myself, Ray, and Charles could all be merchants, but my level of trading could be much higher than that of Ray as well as Charles. So I'll attain the gold merchants. So gold merchants are elite merchants with extensive experience. They have exceptional records. They trade above a certain amount on a monthly basis. So therefore, their discount level will be much more. While the silver merchants are, of course, merchants who have, they are advanced as well. They have, very good positive records, but their volumes have been consistent over a period of time. So these are actually the three types or level of merchants. And then there are certain promotions, activities, campaigns, new features that are extended to a certain type or number of merchants as against rolling out to every merchant. So these are the type of merchants that we have on the platform. They're all verified merchants, but basically just as a result of their internal activities that they have different batch types. And then for users, we have regular users and we have users who have the ability to make ads. We refer to them as makers, right? They are not yet verified merchants. They are working their way up to become verified merchants, but they have the ability to make ads, right? So this type of users are called makers with the ability to make ads, but then they are not yet merchants. So they are also available on the platform, but they would not have any form of badge indicating them on the platform. You just see that they have the ability to be able to post advertisement on the platform, but do not have any badge beside their names. So these are like the three types, um, sorry, four types overall of makers that we have on the platform. They are all also referred to as makers, irrespective. If you don't want to, use the word merchant.
Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah. Thank you for that answer, Sunny. Just talking about merchants, I'm not sure if you've touched on this, but apologies if you have. But yeah, we've talked about merchants, makers, for a while right now. And I'm sure many users are interested in just becoming verified P2P merchants or makers on Binance. Maybe, and this requires a certain eligibility criteria for the same, right? So maybe could you provide a detailed breakdown for anyone who's listening in and would love to join the merchant program? Could you provide like a detailed breakdown for of eligibility criteria, what they must meet, maybe in terms of minimum trading volume, maybe in terms of KYC requirements and or so forth, and so on and so forth?
Okay, yes. So it's important that to become a verified merchant on Binance P2P, at least within the last 30 days, you should have traded more than 200 active trades. And then we look at your pay time, your release time. All this should fall below 15 minutes. And we also look at the total people you've interacted with over the lifetime of your being with us. Have there been positive comments or very negative comments? And then your all-time trade history, right? Your all-time trade history should at least cross more than 500 trades, and more importantly, how much you've been trading on the platform over your entire period with us. So these are, criteria that you must ensure that they look good. You don't need to go through anyone. You can apply. Charles, I'm not sure if you have the link
Mm-hmm.
for application, but I could share it with
Yes.
you.
Yes, I do. I'll share with the community just after
Yes,
this.
so you can apply through that. In fact, while you go on the link to apply, you can already see if you meet some of these requirements. You will see that they get checked, and then at that point, you would have the ability to apply. If you apply, your application will be reviewed within 14 working days. We try to make this even less, but just so that we can manage expectations, your application will be reviewed within 14, not more than 14 days period, by the merchant management team. And then you can see if you're now qualified or not. You get email of the confirmation of your application qualification.
Okay. All right. Guys, I hope for those who've been asking questions in the community, I know that we've received so many questions from users asking how they can join the merchant program, right? Sunny just broke it down. So I hope you've been taking notes and you now understand the criteria, or rather the requirements that you need to meet in order to become a merchant. I'll be sharing the links in the community for application. So if you'd want to apply to become a merchant, yeah, I'll share the link just after the call today so that you can apply for that. To our next question, just talking about maybe let me rephrase it. We've seen in the past that we are adding additional features on the platform, right? Each and every day, just to ease and or simplify the makers' life on the platform, or rather the users' life on the platform, right? And these features are, yeah, I could say are a work in progress. We usually add features each and every time, right? Or rather, just improve the platform each and every time. So, to my question is, are there any upcoming features that you'd want to maybe mention? Upcoming P2P features that you'd want to bring to the community, or rather mention to the users that users should be looking out for, or rather users should know about? Just any upcoming
All
features
right.
that yeah.
Yes. So, yeah, like you mentioned, right, we take extensive period to be able to develop
Hmm.
features, especially those that significantly impact like the history of our users. If you notice, one of the product features that was also recently released is the ability to swipe to place an order. Before now, you wouldn't swipe to place orders, but now you can swipe, giving users better experiences while they trade. A number of the other P2P features are layered more on the monitoring side, ensuring a fair place where we can, mitigate against a lot of fraudulent actions, detections, and of course, I see that the user is also asking about, the use of AI. So AI is something that we also, sort of prioritize, and we test also very extensively before releasing some of these very delicate features, such that they come in and do good rather than causing a lot of, concerns within the community. So in no time, just like the model by ranking I shared with you as well, was a more recent, launch of feature that we also just had to the overall, P2P community, ensuring that new users can also be taken care of. And there are a number of them that we've also launched, like the Shield Merchant, for example, was also a new feature that we launched, particularly catering for markets where you have a lot of circulation of stolen funds, where merchants are re-guaranteeing users that when you trade with me and you have any issues with your account over the trade period, and you can guarantee or confirm that it's as a result of paying you the fiat that your funds were locked, I will compensate you up to a tune of a certain percentage of the total order amount, right? So these are different initiatives, different, product that we've continued to launch. And more recently, we've launched automated payments on the Binance P2P platform, but we're trying to now currently expand this feature even more, such that it could cover both non-merchants and makers in the communities to be able to leverage this particular feature, giving more value for money for both users and our merchants in the community.
Awesome, guys. I hope you've heard just about the features that we've introduced recently. You can go, just take a look, on the platform, right? Sunny echoed the feature of where you can be able just to sort out the different merchants by the overall ranking. That is one of the features that we've introduced among just so many other features. And in the pipeline, we have quite a lot, as Sunny said, that we are doing. And go to the platform, play with the platform, and you can be able just to view and interact with the features that we've introduced and the ones that are currently in the pipeline that we're looking to introduce. So as we jump, or rather as we come to an end, I hope you are ready for the Kahoot, because the Kahoot is coming up next. I just love Sunny to give us a parting shot as he ends his session, and we jump to the Kahoot as we come to the to finalize the session for today. Sunny, any parting shot to the community?
Okay. All right. Okay, so for me, it will be that P2P trading gives you freedom, but with freedom comes responsibility. Stay sharp in the market, trust the process that we have
Yeah.
provided. Never trade on trust trade, but proof. Your safety is our concern always. And then, of course, you are backed by the most trusted platform, secure platform. Always trade smart and safe, following the laid down rules that we have. If you are unsure about moving forward, you have the freedom to either cancel that order. But more importantly, or especially, we have provided trusted, verified liquidity merchants on the platform. And generally, our platform is the most secured, safe, and fast platform that you can trade on P2P. So continue to use Binance for your tradings, and ensure that whenever you have issues, attend events like this. I'm going to be here again, I think, sometime next month. I
Yeah.
think it's going to be a lot packed, or a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
As Charles mentioned, I could come with the list of features we have released for the month of April, for example, just to be able to give you guys how detailed some of the features it is that we're releasing to make life better for you trading with Binance P2P platforms. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sunny. And just to maybe echo what Sunny has mentioned, I know we had a ton of questions. We had so many questions coming in, guys. So, and for the sake of time, we couldn't answer all of them. So, what you're going to do, we are going to have at least once a month a session just around P2P, where we get to answer all your questions, or any blockers that you've been facing. We'll be addressing them during that session. This session will be ideally before the end of the month. So look out for this session. So if you experience any blocker during your interaction with the P2P platform, look out for these sessions where we'll be addressing these challenges, and just to make your life easier and simple when integrating with our platform. So thank you so much, Sunny, for making the time to be here, and for addressing the questions that we had for today. Guys, if your question was not answered, you can leave it in the community, and we'll be on Telegram community, and we'll be sure to answer that. On to our Kahoot. So the Kahoot today is 10 questions. 7 of them are multiple choice questions, and 3 of them are true or false questions. So what you need to do, if you've never played a Kahoot before, so a Kahoot is just a Q&A game, right? Where a question will pop up on your screen, and you will have multiple choice answers below it. So you need to read the question, and you need to select the answer. And it's ranked based on we have a leaderboard where you're ranked based on how fast you are, and how many correct answers you select during the question, the Q&A, right? So if you're listening in, navigate to www.kahoot.it, enter the game pin as 75980264, enter your username as your Telegram username, enter your nickname as your Telegram username. This is just for ease of us looking through those who qualified, or rather those who qualified for a reward, right? So for this Kahoot, we'll be rewarding the top 20 with $10 each. So we have a 200 USDT prize pool for this Kahoot. So the top 20 will be rewarded with $10. So if you are joining in, navigate to www.kahoot.it, enter the game pin as 5980264. Enter your nickname as your Telegram username. This will help us just identify you. We have 64 people on call. I think we can start it at 100. What do you think, Ray?
100 looks great. Let's wait. Wow, 65. Wow, this is awesome. This is awesome.
We are at 70, waiting for the next 30. Ray, what questions do you think are going to be on the Kahoot? Any interesting questions?
Definitely. If there are no questions about what a merchant is, I don't know.
Mhm.
I hope everybody was listening, because if they are not listening, then they would not know what a merchant is, what P2P is. I'm just curious to see the kinds of choices they're going to select, and I'm also curious to see the number of people who are going to be involved in today's Kahoot. I hope we cross the 100 mark. I'm optimistic.
Yeah, we are at 70, 78. Yeah, so most of the questions actually just came from what Sunny has been talking about, and they're pretty simple questions. So I hope you guys score 100 out of 100. Maybe for the sake of time, we can start at 80. Only one person. Now we are at time, so here we go. I hope you're not locking anyone out. All right. To question one, this is very simple. What does P2P stand for in Binance P2P? This is this is a bonus question actually.
I remember we said it. I think it was some kind of a game, wasn't it?
Yeah, you actually also mentioned it on the description.
Yeah, it sounded like a game. I don't know if it's play to play.
Yeah, we can see 76 of them got it right. So guys are so attentive. The 8 of
Actually,
them,
someone answered play to play.
yeah, I think they need to join more sessions where we discuss about just P2P and more educational sessions that we hold from the weekly ones to crypto school, right?
Yeah, I totally do agree. Or they should just go and do play to one, since they love playing.
Yeah, Shamia is on the lead. I hope you remain on the lead through the session today. To the next question, what is the role of Binance escrow in P2P transaction? Sunny mentioned this when he was talking about a concept. I wouldn't want to mention it because I'll give you the answer. So yeah, we have 8 seconds on the clock, 5 seconds on the clock. All right, 67 got it right. You guys are so smart on this call today. Virtual assistant went to the lead. Let's go to the next one. What should you check before trading with a P2P merchant? We also
Oh,
mentioned,
that was so comprehensive. I remember that one. It was so
yeah,
comprehensive.
is it the account balance? Ray, what do you think?
I I think it could be account balance, because why would you trade with someone whose account balances?
Oh, nice. Guys are so attentive. Oh, these questions are very simple.
Wow, the leaderboard is looking shaky. Anybody can be replaced. I wonder who is going to be the top next. Hello, Charles. Are you with me? Hello, guys. Just be patient with us. We're having a little bit a technical mishap somewhere, but it will be fixed in a short while. Yeah. Anyways, let's keep on waiting on Charles to join us. I hope you're enjoying this session so far. I would love to hear some questions from you in case you have any, or in case you are excited for the P2P. Keep being excited while we wait for Charles to join us. Okay, let's keep waiting for Charles. While we wait for Charles, I would love to tell you about my first P2P transaction and how it did happen.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah, Charles is here. Yes, so
sorry,
let's get going. Let's get
sorry
going.
guys. My internet just dropped for a minute. I hope we'll still continue. Let's go to the next question. To question number
Yeah, yeah,
4.
let's go to the leaderboard. Let's go back to the leaderboard.
To question number 4. What happens if a seller doesn't release crypto after payment in Binance P2P? What happens if a seller doesn't release crypto after payment in Binance P2P?
Charles, kindly share your screen.
Oh, sorry. So sorry, guys. Let me just share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
All right. So sorry, guys. Let's go to the next question. Who's on the lead? Sean. I hope you maintain the lead.
The leaderboard is so shaky. Does Binance charge fees for P2P traders? We've talked about that, guys. I hope everybody gets it right because we've talked about it. I don't know if it's fees or feelings. I know it's something between having fees and feelers or not feelers or I don't know. One of those things. I'm not sure which one, but I hope you get it right.
Oh, okay. We had 23 getting it wrong. Let's see the leaderboard as we move to the next question. Question number 6.
What
What
is
is
a
a
common P2P scam to avoid? Charles,
we've,
how do you avoid common P2P scams?
we've talked about scams, right? So if
Yes.
I mention, I'll probably give out the answer. So let's see what they say.
If they don't get this right, they should join us next week on Wednesday for the session on scams.
Uh, I feel like most people will get today's will get 100 out of 100 on today's session because these questions are very simple.
The 5 people who missed it should join us next week.
Yeah, for the next session.
Yes.
So
What is
what
a
does
blue check mark? Okay, Charles, go ahead.
what does the blue check mark next to a P2P merchant's name mean? Is it they accept PayPal? Is it they offer the lowest prices? Is it they are Binance employee? Is it they are verified? These questions are simple.
Interesting. They accept PayPal. That is interesting.
Someone actually mentioned that. To the last two, true or false?
A seller can cancel a trade after the buyer has paid. Is it true or false?
Oh,
Nine
guys,
of you got it wrong. But congratulations to all of you who got it right. Nine of you, do not worry, you can win the next one. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. We can do this. Buyers can file dispute if the seller doesn't release crypto. Is that true or false? Let's see who got it right. Let's see who was attentive. Wow, 76 got it right. Congratulations to the 76 of you. The five of you, let's pull up our socks. We can do this. And now we're on to the final question. True or false? Sellers can set their own exchange rates even above market price. Is that true or false? Let's see. Let's see. This is the final question. Final question. If you got this right, okay, this is your final chance to redeem yourself. Either this determines who's number one, this determines who's the last, this determines who's on top of the leaderboard. Let's see. Whew.
that,
Wow,
that
55 got it right.
yes, let's see the leaderboard on the podium. We have Omo at number 3, we have Sean at number 2, and the winner for today's session is Kihabli.
Congratulations, congratulations, Chiable.
Yeah, congratulations, guys. Yeah, that was quite impressive. I'll share the list before end of day today, so that you guys can start filling out the form for your details. All right. Yeah, thank you for joining, and let's catch up on the next session. We'll have another Kahoot next week on Binance, and so you need to go and just deep dive into Binance and familiarize yourself with and ask any questions that you have around and we'll be sure to answer them next Thursday with one of our representatives from the AN team and probably play a Kahoot around Binance. And so I hope if you're listening in, you'll be able to join us also during that time. So with that, we've come to the end of the session. Love to thank you just for joining us and for listening in. So wherever you are, do have a lovely evening, night, and happy holidays for those on holiday from tomorrow. So take care and stay safe.
See you guys. Have a beautiful evening. Enjoy a good Friday. And thank you for joining us. See ya.